This is a road. When people think of a car, they would ideally love to drive on a smooth tarmac like this. But I think they're missing the point. True enthusiasts know that not all cars are meant to be driven only on roads. With the right car, anything is possible. One is only limited by their own imagination. Now this is our story. Taking two cars out on our own, away from the hustling cities, and using our imagination on pushing the boundaries of what one can do with just a car. So join us on this journey and welcome to AutoFly EPIC Season 2.
Okay, looks like I'm first as usual, and I think I'll be first throughout the episode. But anyway, this is the car I got today, the BMW X1. Now I know it's not a true SUV, and this is going to be an SUV episode, but it's a German car, it's a BMW, and it's the X1. In the budget we had, and the fact that we had to choose an SUV, this seemed like the best fit. Now I know this is the two-wheel drive version, which is not ideal, but that's okay. It's still going to be interesting because this engine is a really good engine. It's a twin turbocharged 2-liter diesel engine, so it's pretty powerful. It produces 190 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. Now the only issue is traction because it's a front wheel drive car, but considering this is a light car and nimble, it'll do well in what we have in store for you. Now I think I hear the roof coming. So he's here. You clearly cheated. What is that?
I think I've already won this round. No,
That's a truck, that's not an SUV.
You were supposed to get an SUV. Why did you get my granny's station wagon? What is this?
And what is that? That's any better?
I mean, this is a solid 3.2 liters of engine.
You can carry like 50 kilos of rice in that.
You called me with a 4-wheel drive, so a 3.2 liter engine, a 4-wheel drive, 197 bhp, and 470 Newton meters of torque on this car.
So what? Great. Okay, chalo. You have 3.2 liters. This is 2 liter, but I have 190 horsepower. You have 197. Oh.
Yeah, but you wanted an SUV. You wanted a 4x4. It's all in here.
I think it's time we address everyone watching. So welcome back to AutoFly EPIC Season 2. Lot of action, lot of things upcoming, and you gotta stay tuned because we are not telling you exactly what's happening.
But before that, for all you new viewers, if you haven't seen us already, this is Gautam Heble and I am Dhruv Shah. And if you haven't subscribed to us already, please go subscribe.
Yeah. Also, do hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we upload a video, because I promise you this video is going to be insane.
And if you haven't checked out our Epic Season 1 already, please go check that out too later.
You can check it out with the link. And I think it's time to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically we are heading to Alibaug yet again, but it's not going to be the same. A lot of more interesting things. Now it's evening time. We've met just to introduce the cars, and now tomorrow morning we are leaving, taking the ferry and going to Alibaug.
But since you already have a few hours, I think I'll give you a last chance. If you do want to change your car.
No. I stick by this. It's German. It's beautiful. See you guys. Hey guys, so it's morning, it's early morning actually. It's about 7:30.
It's very early.
Yeah, it's quite early. And finally we are leaving. So after our meetup last night, we gave a basic description of the cars. Now it's time to go.
Yeah, let's start driving. I think we've just done enough talking. Let's just get to it.
Hey guys, welcome back. Now we are on the ferry. We've just left actually, and it's beautiful. It's a little hot, but it's really good, and there are a lot of cars.
It's a bright sunny day, but yeah, man, you know, I think despite the conditions of the lockdown, I had not anticipated so many cars.
Yeah,
And
right.
to the point that I did not know that there was an underground, under vessel parking too.
Yeah.
And today was the first time when I saw it open, and a lot more cars have gone under this too. So I think there are at least like 200, 250 odd cars going to Alibaug right now.
So true. And a lot of people also, and a lot of Endeavours, which is crazy, and all of them are white. That's so
Yeah,
surprising.
actually, shockingly they're white. I think everybody's going off-roading in Alibaug right now.
Yeah, could be. So stay tuned, there's a lot of exciting things happening. It's just started, it's just morning.
And we're super excited to come back with season 2. I mean, with the response that we got in the first season, I think this is just the start to the madness of the second season.
Yep, so see you there. So we're finally docked, we're heading out now. It's time to go, we finally reached Alibaug, to be specific Mandwa. And the first thing we're doing is testing out the cars. Should be interesting, I'm very excited for today. And I think we've mentioned this a billion times now, but it's very exciting. Oh God. I have the Endeavour in front of me and the X1. This is definitely a very, very good way to come to Alibaug because it's so much easier, no issues of the road. And overall, an amazing experience. And this road is also beautiful. We have just docked in Mandwa, and we thought before heading to the beach, we should drive around our cars just a little bit to check out how they drive. So now we are driving, we are on the way, we are just going to get a little into the city, and now I'm going to tell you why I chose the BMW X1. Now we are given a certain budget under which we had to basically beg, borrow, steal a car for this trip. And yeah, so welcome to AutoFly EPIC Season 2. Don't worry, none of them are stolen. Disclaimer. And yeah, so basically under this certain budget, we had to get SUVs, and this is what I managed to find. Now, I know this is not a proper SUV. You can't term this as an SUV. I think ideally you would call it a mini SUV. But also it's a two-wheel drive car, which is a little bummer. But interestingly enough, this car has a 2-liter twin-turbo engine. So it produces 190 horsepower, which is quite powerful. And weirdly, that huge Endeavour at the back is a 3.2-liter engine, 5-cylinder, and that produces 197. So I don't see much of a difference in terms of power, at least, though that car has more torque.
We're on the road now and we're heading to our next destination in Alibaug. Wait till you all see it. And so today we're going to talk about the car at hand. Now this car, I had to pull a few strings. I had to ask a few old friends, and eventually somehow I managed to get the car. Fortunate of the owner to give me the car. And this beauty has everything you need. I mean, it's the Ford Endeavour 3.2 liters 4x4 titanium automatic version. It's everything. It's got presence, it's got speed, it's got the massive bulkiness to the SUV that you'd like. It produces about 197 bhp, which is very good for an SUV. At least that's what I feel for a mid-range SUV. Now, I had to get this car because we had a few constraints. Constraint was on the budget and the type of vehicle, and we had to do anything to get the car. So this was the best car in the limitations that we had set. And this car produces 470 Newton meters of torque at 1750 RPM up to the range of 2500 RPM. This has got 4x4. So I think if it's off-roading, if it is driving on rocky paths or driving on the beach, it's the perfect car. I don't see Gotham's X1 standing anything against it. It's got no chance against this car. I do feel that car might have an edge, because although it's not a 4x4, but it is, being a 2-liter engine, it is almost as powerful as this car. Now, I don't know how they managed it. This car is about 200 kgs heavier than that car. So it's the ideal combination with the X1 and the Endeavour, being American versus German, both at its best, in its ultimate SUV mode, and the best possible limitation.
After driving our cars around for a bit, we thought we should exchange our cars to test and see how the other car drives and which one could be better. So we just exchanged cars just to check out the other one. I can already say that the X1 is better. I don't know why Dhruv chose this one. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from, because this is a 4-wheel drive. We're planning to drive on the beach, a lot of other things. Maybe go off-road if we get a good chance. So I can understand why he chose this, and definitely this car is double the size of the X1. I can already tell. But I mean, it is nice to sit in such a high car, and of course 4-wheel drive, big advantage. And weirdly, the steering wheel is very nimble. This car is definitely powerful. It has more torque than the X1, so that's a definite advantage. See, this car is kind of better, but I'm not going to say that because I chose the X1. I know, my bad, but still, I'm sticking with that car. Don't tell Dhruv. I mean, we haven't tried it on the beach yet. I'm sure this car will be more exciting to drive on the beach, but the BM is almost equally powerful. And the fact that the BM is lighter could be an advantage, and I could win. But at the end of the day, the X1 is a German car, German precision, no other country can beat. This is a Ford American, so it's clearly American versus German. I know it's not a muscle car or anything, it's an SUV, but still, nothing beats German precision. So yeah, basically I prefer the X1. I don't like this car. I'm being biased, I agree, but this is not a review. I don't have to be unbiased, so I don't care. I still prefer that car. You can let us know down in the comments what you think. I know a lot of people will choose this, but that's okay. I still prefer that car, and I'm sticking by it. So, enough talking. See you later. Now taking y'all over to what Dhruv has to say about the X1.
After driving the Ford Endeavour, now I thought, why not let's give a hand at the X1 also, see what Gautam's actually got in store. I mean, he was boasting a lot about this. Let's see how it actually feels. So far, I have, okay, off the bat, I don't know where he's got this car from, but the suspension's actually, it's quite messed up. It's lagging on power, and I don't quite frankly like the brakes. I don't like the brakes of this car. It's a little hard on the knees. But talking about performance, I think it feels a little underpowered. I'm gonna try a little speed test now with this car. It does feel a little zippy in its acceleration. So I'm just gonna floor it and see what it goes like. Quite responsive. It is a little lighter to move than the Endeavour. It's surely got that point. I think not much difference, but about 250 kilos. So it can move around a little faster. And besides that, I think this car is a little less sway because of the low ride height. It's helping it get a little more grip. But when the 4x4 is in action, there's nothing that will compare to the Endeavour. Yeah, it can surely pick up a very good amount of speed very fast. It accelerates really well. Compared to, I think the white color looks brilliant on this. It's a very beautiful color, but I don't personally like BMWs in general. Maybe the low end segment only, because I haven't happened to drive any of the M series yet. I'm looking forward to, but I feel as compared to the Audis or the Mercs, they're a little underpowered. The brakes are also a little more jerkier in this car as compared to the Endeavour. But I like the interiors of this car. I think they're a lot more plush, and you can feel a little bit more luxury SUV kind of feeling in this car. Another benefit that this car has as compared to the Endeavour is the paddle shift. Now that is not offered in the Endeavour. I think that is a very good feature that helps me control the car a little better, and it's more fun. Paddle shifts is way more fun to drive. Another interesting fact about this car is just a two-wheel drive, which I would have expected to at least offer a four-wheel drive. Now, keeping in mind, the Endeavour is a die-hard off-roading vehicle. This car is not able to do that. The mileage on this car is way more superior as compared to the Endeavour. I mean, I don't think Endeavour I would prefer personally as a daily drive. This car would be a much better of daily drive. It feels more comfortable to drive. It's a little more compact. Adds up be a much better city car than the Endeavour, especially like Bombay, in all the commotion and very minimal parking space. I think this car would fit in much better as an SUV. It gives you that space, and the boot space in this car is incredible. Without putting the rear seats down, also, it's a very good boot space.
We had driven quite a bit around the beautiful roads of Mandwa, but now it was time to head to the beach.
We've had a wonderful ride out here. There was a little bumpy, sway movement in the ferry today. I think the tides were just too harsh. As you all can see, we've reached the beach, but the tides are actually setting us back right now.
So as you know, it's monsoon. Maybe you don't know, but monsoon is upcoming pretty soon, and the sea is very rough. But I would say the ferry was kind of smooth.
There's an interesting thing actually we saw.
The Endeavours, all the Endeavours on the ferry, they were all ringing for some reason. Because of the motion, they were getting activated and they were all ringing.
So I think you know what it is? It's the four-wheel drive of the car. Gyroscope inside. When it's normally not in the four-wheel drive, it sets off the balance of it, and that actually tips it to feeling that it's being moved.
Let's do a fact check on this. So yeah, we are at the beach and the tides are not in our favor, sadly. But there's a lot of things upcoming. We're going to wait it out a while. It's still fairly early in the day, and we have the whole day left, so we have enough time. And then we're going to come back to this beach and go crazy.
I think I'm going to smoke your car. It's already decided.
We're going to do a little drag race on the beach. So we're going to test the traction of the cars. Now, the X1 will definitely smoke him.
No.
It's more powerful. Maybe not more powerful, okay.
Have you seen the Endeavour? It's 3.2 liters.
It's a truck. It's a truck.
A truck that's fast.
Anyway, so maybe with that four-wheel drive, your traction will be more. But that's about it. I'll just...
It's got a better traction. It's got a better speed. It's got a better engine. How are you going to compete with it?
I have a German car. So, anyway, this argument is endless. We'll see, we'll test it out and get back. See you guys.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.